And this is a thing about the learning process. The quicker we can observe what's going on, the less stressed we'll be, right? And so how can we observe quicker? How can we learn quicker? And what we're realizing is that this thinking idea, it's not really that good. It's very inefficient in terms of learning. So let's talk about this a little bit more today. This is what we're doing when we're thinking. When you're thinking, it means you know what's going on or you don't know what's going on. If you have to think, it means you don't know what's going on. If you don't know what's going on, do you have the correct information in your mind? No. Which means, where do you need to go to get the information? Outside, right? You have to figure out what's outside of you, not what's inside of your mind. But what do you do when you think? Are you using the information outside or inside? You're only using the information inside, right? So when you're thinking, what are you doing if the information's not there? What are you doing? You're making stuff up. That's what you're doing, right? When you're thinking, really what you're doing is you're just making it up. And you don't even know it. So what we're finding is that more intelligent people realize what's more important, what's in your mind or what reality is? Always what reality is, right? So more intelligent people, they cut out the thinking and they go straight to the application. So what does this kind of look like here? Here are some ideas that go along with no thinking. When they do something, they make sure it's simple. Realizing that if they're going to do something, they want to know exactly what to do. And they want it to be like this. If they don't see something like this, what does a no-thinking person do? What do they do? If they don't see it like this, right? If they got to think, what do they do instead of thinking? They ask for help. They go find someone who knows, right? They don't think, they shut their mind down, they go find someone who knows. Very simple, right? They figure out instead of question why. This is a big one your age. You're going to have a lot of adults telling you to do stuff, right? When your parents tell you to do things, whatnot. Oftentimes we question why. You say, why do we have to do that? Or why are you getting us for this? Da-da-da-da-da. The no-thinking person does what? Instead of questioning why, they try to figure out, why is this person trying to tell me to do this? They'd get more information. If someone tells them, go sleep earlier, why are they trying to get me to go sleep earlier? Why are they trying to get me to do this, right? So they try to figure it out. They think less and act more. They don't judge, they accept reality. This is a big one. A no-thinking person, when something happens, they don't try to judge why people are doing what they're doing. They just take it at face value. So for example, you go to a party and you're like, hey, Tim, how are you doing? And what does Tim do? He just walks away from you. So if you're thinking about it, you're like, man, Tim's kind of a jerk, right? That's the first thing. And then you're like, but dang, what am I wearing? Tim's probably embarrassed because of me, of what I'm wearing. It's not the latest fashions, whatever it might be. And then as you're going home, you're starting to think, wait a minute, but yesterday, Tim and me, we got in this discussion about animals, and I liked an animal that he didn't like, and he must not like me anymore. And then you start thinking all these things, right? And by the time you get home, it's like the whole world is ending because you did all these things that causes Tim to hate you. When in reality, what happened? Yeah, Tim just didn't see you, right? You just said hi to Tim, he just didn't even hear you or see you, and so he left because he just didn't know, right? But because we're thinking, it causes us all the stress in trying to figure things out in terms of judging why people are doing things. So a no-thinking person, instead of trying to judge why people are doing things, they just find out. They just go to school the next day and say, hey, Tim, I saw you at the party. Why don't you say hi? Right? And Tim's like, oh, I didn't even see you there. So many things in our life can get resolved if we don't try to judge why people are doing things and we just look at the information and we ask, right?